What's good, y'all? I'm your girl Ash. If you are new here, welcome. Kick back, relax. Let's get ready to get into this recap, review, commentary. Basically, my little take on what has happened in this most recent episode of Teen Mom Next Chapter, and what an intense, triggering episode. Like, it was a lot going on here. So let's go ahead and jump into it. But before we do, don't forget, y'all, to like this video if you enjoy it. Don't jump off to just yet. Stick around for a little bit. I need you to see if you like it, girl. Hit that subscribe button if you do. Check out a couple of other videos. But all right, now we got that out the way. So let's talk about baby girl Nova and her mama and her daddy. Y'all, so it's Nova's birthday. Nova is turning 11. Y'all, like, these babies are like, why is this tablet always going off when I'm doing a recap? Like, what is the problem here? You be being real rude. So back to it. Nova is 11. Like, these babies are like really like growing up, y'all. They're like really growing up, like right in front of our eyes. Like, so anywho, remember I was saying in one of my previous Teen Mom Next Chapter recaps that basically what was going on with Devon. Like, we had seen some stuff going on, with Lewis, but we hadn't seen Devon, really hadn't talked about Devon. What's going on with Devon? Like, where is he? What's going on with that? Come to find out, we really hadn't seen the kids in months. Right? Months. Okay. And then he admitted online that he had a gambling problem. And it was like, that explains how you would, I think for me, it immediately just went to, that explains how you were able to keep yourself in such designer, whatever. I mean, obviously, no, he's not taking care of his child, but let's be honest, the show's not really paying him that much. It's like a secondary factor, on the show. So they're already not being paid that much. He's probably not really technically being paid that much. And then he like works at a restaurant or whatever, whatnot. So like, it's not to say that it's bad money, but at the same time, it's like, how you getting this stuff, for real? So for me, that was just like, all right, that's how he been really getting money, like, for real. But at the same time, so like, whatever, like, that's like serious or whatever, whatnot. It's serious, like, it could be life ruining over or whatnot, and people get into some stuff, like, for real, into that stuff, and like, y'all know what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, she tried to, she reached out to Macy to kind of figure out how she needed to, like, navigate this whole situation, how to go about it. She set up a, meeting, with Devon, just to talk, check in, see how he's doing. He made it seem like, he didn't have to work, and then come to find out he did have to work and forgot and basically left her hanging. Typical Devon. So I'm like, wow, like, I'm stuck in between, like, feeling for this dude, and just like, because, just like Macy was saying, he just has so much potential, and he does. And I think that's what sucks, because I do feel like he wants to do more and do better, but obviously, there's some obstacles and some things going on that is hindering him from doing so. And I possibly could be wrong, but I honestly felt like he was always kind of basically repeating the cycle with his own mom. Why did I kind of just feel like his mom wasn't necessarily so much present, in his life too? Or at one point, like, didn't they even like live in like separate places? And I mean, at the same time, well, wait a minute, they were like 16. I mean, and once you get older, like, it don't, like, I'm not saying this like just to judge her, but I'm saying these things to just, get that pathology to understand why basically Devon is the parent that he is, because he's a absent parent for whatever reason. Obviously, we don't, hear dad, but at the same time, how I feel like there's still been necessarily a disconnect with his mom, like, necessarily. So everybody shows up. Devon shows up, his mom shows up, and so I felt like it's like, obviously things have been rough, and I can definitely understand that, because when I've had Jada, I think I was there, I was way older than them. I was in my 20s, early 20s, but I still had a lot to learn. I didn't necessarily know everything, and I navigated things based on my mom and what my mom said, and taught me how to do things. So at the same time, now that I have learned to give Brianna grace in that, because she's doing the same thing. And of course, her mom is only teaching her based off of, how she learned to be a parent, and, this and that, and navigating that co-parenting, relationship. So I'm glad that Brianna was able to, like, when they sat down, together, was able to take that accountability. Like, yeah, I didn't do everything right, or whatever. It was not like I was young, and that's exactly how it was. Like, I could have did the same very, very well. I wasn't so, being that me and my child's father, Jada's dad, lived in two separate states, I wasn't so freely willing to just give her up and just let him take her off, and just like, he had no experience with kids, babies, and like, it was rough, and there were some situations that got like ugly. So I can't believe it really took this long for me to like kind of like relate how much a bit of alike, as far as like that some stuff it is I have in common with Brianna. But so I really felt like he wanted to say something, though, to Roxanne. Like, it was just an awkward talk. I mean, like, obviously, and that was something Roxanne wanted to overstep, with him or whatever or whatnot. But I know, like, she's genuinely concerned, for Devon, and, what he has going on. And that's why she even reached out to, I think her name is like Sharita or whatever, whatnot. And so even for them to be able to sit down, and I think what really pissed me off was her not being able to take accountability and putting it all on them. No, they didn't make it necessarily easy, but at the same time, I definitely understand that no matter what, I'm going to defend my son. I'm going to defend my son. I'm going to defend my son, because I definitely felt like that's what I was battling in the beginning or whatever or whatnot. And but it was just like, but at the same time, if she wasn't present, if she wasn't able to take accountability for her actions, how can we now expect her? I don't think I can. I don't have the expectation for her. I actually did kind of was hoping that this might have went somewhere, but of course we had already seen in the previews that this was going to go left. So I had the hopes, but at the same time, I'm not even surprised that this is where it's got to. This is just what it's going to be. And, hopefully, if anything, Devon gets the help and gets what he needs, because that situation just like really went left. I don't feel like for a change that Brianna was being disrespectful. For her to come out and call her a bitch after Brianna took accountability for her actions, and, back then, and opening the door. And at the same time, I kind of just feel like, if that were my son, if that were Ashton, if that were Yo-Yo, and he got some girl pregnant, and I would understand, her not maybe being open, and, whatever, to come into whatever. All right, what can we do? How can we make, like, why would you not try to meet that girl where she is? And I get it's not about kissing ass, and I get it, because I'm not all about that either. But it's a matter of being an adult and trying to compromise and meet in a middle ground, in a way so that everybody can feel comfortable. What's wrong with that? And that's why I feel like, nah, like that ain't going, no. Sorry, that might be a relationship that just need to just be where it's at. That's just as far as like her and Devon's mom. And we're gonna hope for the best that Devon gets the help, that he needs, and that he can, even Lewis was at Nova's birthday party. Like wow. So all right, y'all. What else? Like, we spent a good little while like talking about them because woo, that seeing that it was just a lot, and for it to just even get to that level, y'all, and Roxanne's always just so emotional, but I get it. I'm just like her. She can't help it. Like she wants the best for all the kids, and she wants the kids to have their dads around, and she wants to be in good relationship, with everyone, and just things be copacetic. And you don't always do everything right. And as you go over things, you make things worthwhile. And honestly, I can believe that Devon lies. Unfortunately, if Devon's a gambler, if he's an addict, he lies. He lies. I very well believe that they've really come a long way, and that why would she deny him? Like, why would she set things up with him? And like, I just, as much as Brianna has gotten on my nerves, and I believe that she sat around and just made things hard for herself in the very beginning, so much time has passed, so much has grown, and they've had such a good relationship with her being able to go with Devon and stay with Devon, and like, so why would just no, I'm sorry. I believe Devon lied for her to sit there and like, but I'm not surprised. I'm about to say birds of a feather, but the apple don't fall too far from the tree. That's the right one. All right, y'all. I'm moving on from that. So everybody's having a birthday. Even Chloe is turning 5. Chloe's turning 5, y'all. And I think really all that I got for Jade is, because she even ended up kind of like even just saying all of it for me, in her interview. So, she had a birthday dinner for Chloe, and of course, her and her mom, they have their tumultuous, relationship where things can be up, things can be down. She has to set that boundary with her where they're just kind of like apart, for a while, create that space. But, so whatever. But she's doing better. Like, is her name Christy? Is it Christy? I think it's Christy. Like, she's got a job. She had just got a job. So I don't think she's doing drugs. Sounds like from what Jay said, like she's clean right now. So everything just seems to be like really, doing good, and for her or whatever right now. So, but typical Christy, she gets out there. I hope I'm like saying her name like that's her name, because if I'm not, I'm telling her name like all up right now. All right, but they're at the birthday dinner, and she's just loud and just her, and but of course it becomes a lot for Jade. And at the end of the day, Jade was just like, at the end of the day, I accept my mom. Yes, you definitely need to accept your mom for like who she is, and just learn to create some, I guess like coping skills for how you can deal and not get so anxious when your mom is around and she goes into that loudness. And like you have to, I get it, you created the boundary, but now don't create the boundary because you can't handle her because of her personality and just like how she is. You have to find a way to work through that and cope through that. And I feel like once really Jade does that and works on that, like, it'll be okay. Like, she's getting married. Like, I think what it kind of like made me relate to my best friend who's getting married or whatnot, and her mom is very like opinionated and outspoken, and she's gonna say like whatever. And they're from New York, like don't play that, from Staten Island. So that's my boo, Mama Jackie. Shout out to Mama Jackie or whatever, whatnot. So but yeah, so with Brittany getting married, like she's been wanting for things to be this way, and for things to, for do like this, and no da 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 da, and sometimes you just have to nicely, in a respectful way, put your parent in check, basically. We just gonna call it what it is. Put your parent in check. Let them know what it is. And then boom, da-da-da. Don't focus on the negative, because that's what's going to continue to fester and manifest, with your mom. Like, that's all in general. Because that statement was obviously to Jade, but at the same time, that's just an all in general statement, like, for everybody. And I think the moment, like, she kind of, like, works through that, and it sounds like that she is. Like, though I said, she kind of, like, really she said it, and I get it. In the moment, it's hard to kind of like sometimes be in that moment, but in her interview, she was basically saying how she knows how her mom personality is, and she's just accepting her mom for who she is, and then just learning to work through that. And that's how that's gonna work. That's how that's gonna roll. We're days away from Cheyenne's wedding, y'all, and why Cheyenne don't got ain't had no ring for that man. Like, ladies, don't be so selfish. I'm sorry, Cheyenne. Yes, I'm possibly calling you out. I'm not saying that this was it, but look, don't be so selfish and what you want for your wedding and all that base that you forget about the man. But nonetheless, she was able to find him a ring, and not only find him a ring, like they didn't have to, I guess it was the right size. They didn't have to put no work to it, create one, like whatever. So, like his friend said, he really don't have no choice but to like it at this point. Like, this is the ring. And, that's that. So, I think really after all in all, I guess it's just Leah and Jalen getting engaged. And I guess it's kind of like, it's kind of just like funky to talk about now and all that to see, because they're like broken up. I had to like confirm all that. I just wanted to like confirm some facts or whatever before we got on here and started talking about it. It was a nice moment. Like, it really, Leah was, very emotional, but now they're not together. So, and then after all that, rah-rah about his name only being on the deed. He had put her name on the deed after all. Like, so I mean, obviously, clickbait is clickbait. Blogs are blogs. They're going to do, what they do. But it's kind of just like, y'all, don't take everything necessarily for life-based, value. Like, just like necessarily, I don't always take everything for face value here too. Okay, like at the end of the day, it's TV. They do produce things and whatever. So it's kind of like fun as well. It's just like entertainment as well for you and I, just to be like, let me this craziness on these shows that they be putting out these weeks. But y'all, so I really think that's all I got for y'all. Like, this episode was just, like, it was just a lot. So, as always, I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like it if you did. Don't forget. That's just so important, y'all. That definitely supports my channel. And, yeah, so peace, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next recap.